welcome to the Influential Personal Brand Podcast Recap Edition, breaking down Sean Cannell. Cannell. I keep saying it wrong. Cannell, like YouTube channel. Oh, that is why I'm struggling with that, because we have Cannells.
I know.
I was like, why do I struggle with this? But anyways, it's Sean Cannell, like YouTube channel, which is the way to remember it, which is smart. And really, really good. I mean, I have really grown. I follow Sean closely now, and he's like the go-to guy on YouTube
Literally,
these days.
Rory was like, if you want to know YouTube, you have to listen to this.
Because we've said in several of our recaps that
YouTube is literally every single guest has something unique and to say about YouTube, and this was no different. I love it. And I love too that YouTube is making such a comeback in terms of conversations that people are happening, because I feel like for a long time it kind of fell off the wagon and it was all about Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and all the things, and kind of didn't hear about personal brands on YouTube for a while. But some of the biggest personal brands we know have huge, massive followings and huge monetization plans using YouTube.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the thing about YouTube is it's not as like flashy and instant. And so that's why it was like super exciting, and then it kind of went away. And now people are realizing it's got massive long-term staying power. Like, this is the place to be. And I think the first big takeaway was that Sean said, look, a skill you have to learn is you have to become a master at holding attention. And Gary Vee talks about this all the time, that what he's really doing is he's day trading attention. It's not so much about the platform or about the content or anything. It's about understanding your audience and hand gestures. How do you captivate them? How do you hold them? How do you pull them in and and have them? This is something that you got to do if you're going to build a brand. You got to build your audience.
Yeah, I love that. And I think just even asking yourself, what am I doing to hold people's attention? And this is something that we tell people all the time in our curriculum's world-class presentation craft is watch yourself. Like, actually go back and watch yourself. Are you engaging? Are you inviting? Do you even want to watch yourself? Right? I think those are really good things that we forget to do. And, it's something we talk about even with us. It's, when was the last time that we went back and listened to one of our own podcast recaps or podcast interviews, listening to our cadence and our speech and our hands gestures and all the things? But I think it's really important if you're really trying to do this and really trying to build up this platform is, are you watching yourself and becoming in tune with what is engaging and what holds people attention? Because so much of it is people can't sit and watch a talking head for an hour. It's really hard. Just like you wouldn't want to watch a PowerPoint with a voiceover for 6 hours. At some point, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's too much for my eyes to take in. So what are you doing to vary it up and to capture and grab someone's attention and then hold it? So step one, I would just encourage you, if you've got any sort of visual format or an audio format for that matter, go back and watch yourself. And pay attention to those things. And we actually talk about watching yourself 4 different ways.
Oh, this is from Ed Tate. So we learned this from Ed Tate, 1999 world champion, public speaking. Okay, go ahead. Share the 4 ways to watch your video.
So just watch it normally, right? I think I'm going to get out of this. Watch it on fast forward. That's still a thing, not from the VCR days. But one of the reasons is that you'll catch your little, what do you call them?
Your nervous ticks,
like idiosyncrasies.
Yeah.
It's like, do you have like do you do this all the time? Like, we had this friend one time that did this all the time. And when you watched it on video, it looks like she was just filling herself up all the time. Do you remember this?
I do. Yes.
And you never noticed it until it was on fast forward, right? And then watch it on mute and then watch it not looking at it. So you're just listening to it. Those are the 4 different ways. But I'm telling you, it will be amazing to you to see what are all of the weird things that you catch just by watching yourself or listening to yourself, a stutter or maybe you say, a lot. It's just
or
all
like,
the little
or
things.
or
yeah, like is mine for sure. But I just think that's really amazing to pay attention to, because your job is to keep people engaged. So can you even keep yourself engaged? Step 1.
Yeah. And part of that is just reduce, which was a big theme of what Sean talked about. I think of where Mark Twain said that brevity is the essence of wisdom.
Such a good quote.
One of my coaches and mentors, David Brooks, said, he was the 1990 world champion of public speaking. He said, tell the audience every single word they need to know and not a word more. And that's such great advice here. And that's a part, I think, of holding attention, which was to me a great reminder of just edit, reduce. And then the last big takeaway from me was interesting because Sean's so technical in the stuff he teaches. He had this thing that he said like towards the end that was like, whoa,
this is really profound.
Yeah. So it was like, it was more than emotional. It was almost spiritual what he said. He said, use your season of obscurity to prepare you for your season of popularity. Use your season of obscurity to prepare you for your season of popularity. That it's like, look, you're building the skills, the character, the talent, the systems, the processes in this season that not that many people know about you, because you're being prepared for the person that the world one day needs you to be. That you're being shaped and molded and created to be this extraordinary thing. And that's what's happening. Like it's happening right now, even though you think, oh, no one's watching my videos, no one's engaging. You're actually being shaped. You're being built.
Yeah, I love that. And when I read that Roy had highlighted this little sentence, it made me think about one of my favorite pastors right now is this guy named Michael Todd. So total shout out to Transformation Church and Michael Todd. Relationship Goals is the book. So shout out to that too. But I think it's very similar to something he talks a lot about, which is the seasons of your life from being single to being married. And there's this season of being single that nobody wants to be in, but that is the season that you are being prepared for the life partner that you will one day have.
That's good.
And this season of just figuring out who you are and what you want and your connectedness to, in our case, God. But then it's like people want to rush past that. They don't want to be single. They don't want to admit that they're single. They always are dating. And it's like, if you're always with someone else, then you never have time to find out who you are. And I think that's very similar to a little bit of what Sean was saying is the season of obscurity is your season of just you. It's your time alone. It's your time to set a solid foundation so that if you do get hit with tons of popularity, you're grounded and founded in who you are and what you believe in. And it's just setting a very solid foundation for tremendous growth. So very similar to that. And also just love to find any way to talk about Michael Todd.
That's a good word, Vaden. Preach it. That is good. That is strong. That is strong. And that's why we're here. We hope to keep inspiring you and keep informing you with our guests and our recaps. So thanks for being here. Come back next time and we will see you then on the Influential Personal Brand.